r/AskReddit. What simple life hack should everyone know? Sometimes changing your pillowcase daily can help with acne. I use a clean t-shirt over my pillow to accomplish the same effect. To add to this, a lot of people wash their face when they get up but not before bed. Washing before you sleep will help keep the pillowcase cleaner and prevent breakouts. You don't need to apply a ton of night cream or anything, just a medicated pad with salicylic acid will do. Your body will put moisture back on while you sleep, and you'll wake up with a less oily face. Do your morning routine, and make sure to add moisturizer as needed in the morning instead. Wash your sheets with unscented/sensitive detergent too. The perfumes are sometimes an irritant to the delicate skin on your face. Good advice. I'd just add that moisturizing is important for oily skin types too, as skin that lacks moisture will overproduce oils to compensate. Dry skin types will like a creamer, heavier moisturizer while oily skin types will probably prefer something lighter. And always choose a gentle non-fragranced one. And it seems counterproductive, but using an oil-based cleanser, like DHC, and using oils to moisturize, I like First Aid Beauty's oil, on oily skin works nicely. Everyone is different, but I have oily, acne-prone skin, and those two products are in my face cleansing repertoire, and my skin is doing amazing. Sweetie. Edit to at, because it just popped in my head. My dudes. Dudes, you have skin. You should moisturize. It's not just for ladies. Moisturizing is for everybody. Edit thanks to for popping my gold cherry. Much appreciated. Read the 3 and 4 star reviews for the most reliable information on Amazon items. And 2-star reviews for books. Seeing what people dislike tells much. Try on your favorite to see. UPD. To clarify, the idea here is that people writing 2-star reviews project their views and values when arguing that the book is bad for them. And when their views are opposite to yours, it may suggest that you might actually enjoy the book. Let's say you are into a mind-stimulating philosophy book, and a person writes something like "This is boring. The writing is too complex. Ideas are difficult to follow. The language is too intricate. Quit reading after 20 pages. It may mean that it is what you look for. Buy anything you'd need in your kitchen from a restaurant supply store. Anything. Plates, glasses, pans, etc. There are a few online that sell to consumers. Those $8.99 tongs at a box store are like $1.30. A 16-ounce mason jar glass that sells for $3 to $4 a piece can be bought as a 12-pack case for $8.55. Oneida china plates that sell for $345.84 a case for $57.84. I just bought a 2-foot by 2-foot wooden butcher's block cutting board that would have been close to $400 for $55. Edit. Also, this shit is built to last years in a commercial kitchen under constant use. It sure as shit can handle your Sunday brunch cooking ass. Edit 2. I've been buying from here. Edit 3. For those asking about the EU, u/Comcomo replied, if you're in Ireland. Best site and fast delivery. Edit 4. Yowza. I'll get to responding to all of the questions this week. Thank you for the gold, platinum metal, but no more please. And thank you to those that reached out looking to tip on apps or Bitcoin. Please consider donating to my favorite charity instead, Project Pinball. They provide and maintain pinball machines free of charge to long-term children's hospitals and take donations. Sell merch or, if you're feeling lucky, they run to continuous raffles at $50 and $75. A ticket that close every 200 sold where the winner gets a brand new pinball machine shipped to them. If you put something down temporarily, say out loud I've put the screwdriver by the microwave, or whatever. This engages many more areas of the brain, particularly the language centers, which creates a richer memory, making it less likely you'll forget where you put it. In a similar vein, I will say it out loud when I turn stove burners off, unplug my hair straightener etc. I found this helps me eliminate those moments where I leave the house or am in bed and I'm suddenly like, did I leave that on? My wife and I made this a ritual due to her OCD. Anytime we are going out, I'll say to her, hey, I unplugged the iron. Saying it in a funny voice helps too, because it's easier to remember that Shrek told her the iron was off. When moving house, always set up your bedroom / make the bed first so when you're exhausted and just had enough you can fall into bed. Nothing worse than being exhausted and having to make the bed before getting into it. Edit. Good grief, that blew up. Thank you for the awards. Edit 2. To all the grammar nazis, I apologize profusely for using your instead of ya. I don't always proofread as well as I should, but please, get a grip. It's a typo, not axe murder. Also, if you have time, plan where do you want the furniture / boxes of your stuff in the house. Placing it in the right room straight away helps a lot. Manners and general politeness will get you far and become the norm with but a small amount of practice. I'm not talking overboard laddie, but a simple please and thank you with a genuine smile. Manners and general politeness will get you far. I'll add to this. Be especially nice to receptionists. They are the gatekeepers. Whether you're there to interview for a job or attempt to sell something to the owners, if you are rude to the receptionist, you can kiss your chances goodbye. This applies doubly over the phone, where body language and facial expressions are non-existent. Make sure your tone isn't condescending, or else your message is going in the trash if it isn't mission critical. Source: am a receptionist. Interviewers always stop by my desk to get my seal of approval before moving forward in the hiring process. I have vetoed individuals for being rude / snobby, and once for leaving a mess in the bathroom. My vote counts. Edit. Since this is getting attention, I'll use this opportunity for a cheesy seg. Your vote counts too. Register to vote. Also, thanks for the gold. Not necessarily a hack per SE, but learn some basic knife skills. The amount of time you will save chopping vegetables a few times a week, minimum, for the rest of your life far outweighs the amount of time it takes to learn. Plus you can use the extra time to keep the kitchen clean, and that makes everything less stressful while you're cooking, and makes the cleanup faster as well. When you're in a group of people and they start laughing, see who looks at each other. People look at the people they feel closest to when laughing. Edit. I realize this isn't foolproof, but typically people look at their closest friend or a partner. A lot of the I look at the floor comments have rolled in haha. When you're cooking, and the recipe calls for onions and garlic, don't put the garlic into the pan until the onion is nearly translucent. Garlic cooks way faster than onions do. If you throw them in at the same time it won't taste as good / the garlic will burn. It literally takes 30 seconds for minced garlic to cook. Also, if you're a home cook, sharpen your knives often. Thought of a few more tips. Love chives and parsley in your eggs / omelette / anything else, but hate the hassle of cutting them / using the herbs before it turns. Get dried chives and dried parsley instead. It rehydrates quickly in sauces / eggs and tastes the same. It's also way cheaper. This tip can apply to a lot of herbs. While fresher is always better, dried is often still delicious, while still being in a student-wide budget. Add a bit of vinegar to your beans. If you're making anything benign, a lot of home cooks think that vinegar is gross, and it is by itself, but a dash of vinegar can really make beans, sauces and marinades pop. On the topic of cooking, when a recipe calls for garlic, double the amount it calls for. Ditto for vanilla. Meanwhile, you can cut the sugar in most recipes by 1/3 easily, and sometimes 1/2. That way you're tasting the other ingredients, not just the sugar. Ugh, I hate that I forgot to mention that. Recipes are ridiculously miserly when it comes to garlic. When it comes to baking desserts, I'd say it depends entirely on the recipe. For example, with desserts like panna cotta, I wouldn't mess with the sugar too much, because it can end up tasting like vanilla and fat. I still think it's a good point about the sugar though. My conspiracy theory on this topic is that as garlic has grown in popularity in the last few decades, producers are selecting for size rather than flavor. Garlic tastes less intense now than it did in the 90s. We are getting garbage garlic and have to triple it to approximate flavor. If you fucked up, admit it, unless you are talking to cops. But in most situations just admitting how you were wrong and accepting responsibility is so much easier than trying to blame someone or something else, or make up an excuse. When you own the mistake it puts the onus back on the other person to accept that, be mature and move on. If you try and deny or shift blame it forces that person to examine those reasons, and if they are BS, come back at you, dragging the process out and leading to unpleasant call-outs and confrontations. Along this line, learning how to apologize will make life easier. Keep it short and clear. Specifically say, "I'm sorry." Identify the thing you are sorry for. Unless your remorse is particularly great, stop there. Only attempt to offer an explanation for egregious wrongdoing. If you offer an explanation, you must also identify how you are going to prevent the issue in the future. If you offer an explanation, make sure it's not actually an attempt at an excuse. If you offer an explanation, rule 1 still applies. Do not ever include an excuse in an apology. Ever. Ever ever. I also have a personal rule that I will only apologize when I feel remorse. I will not give you an apology just because you think you deserve one, or just because someone tells me I should apologize. Lastly, do not ever state, "I'm sorry" if it conveys that you are not currently sorry for your actions, and that you might be sorry only under certain circumstances. It also removes most of the sincerity. If you don't know the circumstances, you probably aren't actually sorry. You're better off asking about the conditional first, and then issuing an actual apology if warranted. If you do know the circumstances, leave the if out and just identify what it is you feel bad about.